Every parent hopes the storms of adolescence are just passing clouds. We tell ourselves it's just a phase, but sometimes underneath the eye rolls and slam doors, there's something deeper going on, something that can't just be brushed off as normal teenage angst. Hello, I'm Doug Ballinger, and this is Logan's Voice, a podcast for truth, awareness, hope, and healing. I'm Logan's dad, and today we're going to talk about how to recognize when just a phase might actually be a warning sign. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap that notification bell so you never miss an episode. It's just a phase. Or is it? Adolescence is full of change. Kids are figuring out who they are, testing boundaries, and craving independence. That's all part of growing up. But sometimes what looks like a normal phase might be something more serious hiding beneath the surface. There's rarely one single clue that something's wrong. Instead, it's usually a combination of small changes that just add up. Maybe your teen's sleep patterns shift. They're staying up all night or sleeping all day. Maybe they stop caring about things they used to love, or their grades start slipping. You might see changes in how they dress or how they care for themselves, or notice that they've started hanging out with new friends you don't know much about. None of these signs mean your child is definitely using drugs, but when several start showing up together, it's worth paying attention. And here's something important: addiction doesn't have a look, there's no type. It affects straight A students, athletes, musicians, and kids from every kind of home. So don't dismiss your instincts just because your child doesn't fit the stereotype. One thing that helps is keeping a simple journal of observation. Jot down changes you notice, moods, behaviors, times, and dates. It gives you a clearer picture of what's happening over time and helps you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Trust your gut. Observation before confrontation. You know your child better than anyone. When something feels off, it probably is, but the way you handle those feelings matters. Start by observing before you confront. Pay attention to their routines, who they spend time with, and how they act when they get home. Then check in with yourself. Ask, am I coming from fear or am I coming from love? When it's time to talk, choose the right moment. When things are calm and you're not already in conflict, conversations go better in relaxed settings, like while driving, cooking dinner, or just taking a walk. Teens are more likely to open up when they don't feel like they're on trial. When your instincts tell you something's wrong, pause before reacting, take a breath, jot down what you've noticed, and think about how to approach the conversation in a way that builds connection, not walls. From suspicion to support, opening the dialogue. How do we do that? This is where fear often takes over for parents, and that fear can make us speak in ways we later regret. What your teen needs most in that moment isn't anger, it's compassion. Start by creating a safe space. Lead with love and curiosity, not accusation. Sit beside them instead of across from them, and begin with something like, I've noticed you've seemed different lately, and I feel worried because I love you. Using I feel statements changes the whole tone. It shows your concern comes from care, not control. Instead of saying, you're lying to me, try saying, I feel scared when I don't understand what's happening. Those words open up doors instead of slamming it shut. And boundaries are important, but they should come from love, not fear. You might say, you can have privacy, but not secrecy. Or, I'll always love you, but I can't support choices that hurt you. A great exercise for families is creating what I call the family code. Write down three things your family stands for, like honesty, respect, and safety. Keep them visible. When conversations get heated, you can come back to those values to ground the discussion. Now, let's talk about something that often keeps families trapped in pain: the silent weight of stigma. When parents start to suspect that their child might be struggling with substance use, shame can set in fast. We worry about what people think, what our friends will say, and how our family might be judged. That fear of judgment becomes its own kind of prison, and it keeps so many families silent when they need support the most. I've heard from countless parents who said they didn't tell anyone because they felt embarrassed or because they thought it meant they had failed. But addiction isn't a moral flaw, it's a health issue. Silence and shame are what allow it to grow. Stigma isolates families. It keeps parents from reaching out, and it convinces kids that they're broken or unworthy of love. The truth is, the only way to break that cycle is by speaking openly, by saying, "This is happening and we need help." If we can shift from judgment to understanding, we give our children and ourselves a real chance to heal. So, what about navigating the labyrinth? Knowing when to seek help. If your gut tells you something is wrong, don't wait for a crisis. Start by talking to your teen's doctor, a school counselor, or a therapist who specializes in adolescence. They can help you figure out what level of care is needed. There are several types of support available, from early intervention programs and outpatient counseling to more structured care like intensive day programs or residential treatment when home isn't the best environment for recovery. And parents, this next part is for you. Substance use doesn't just impact the person struggling, it affects the whole family. It can consume your sleep, your marriage, your health, your hope. You can't help your child if you're running on empty. Join a support group, talk to other parents, or reach out to organizations like Hope Movement Coalition or Al Anon. You'll find strength in hearing "me too." And relapse, if it happens, isn't failure. It's a part of the journey. It's feedback, not finality. Stay patient and keep showing up, because consistency and love go further than punishment ever will. Healing doesn't happen overnight, and neither does rebuilding trust. But it can happen, one moment, one conversation, one day at a time. Start small. Eat one meal together every day with phones put away. Check in about school, friends, and life in general. Even if your teen doesn't talk much, your presence matters more than you know. Help them develop coping skills for stress, disappointment, and peer pressure, especially peer pressure. Role play what they might say if others offers them a pill or a vape. Teach them that strength isn't about having all the answers, it's about having the courage to ask for help. Try ending each day with a short check in. Tell me one good thing, one hard thing, and one goal for tomorrow. It takes 5 minutes, but it builds trust and communication and routine. And remember, this conversation doesn't end after one talk, it changes as your teen grows. Keep learning, keep talking, and keep showing up. I've seen families come back from the darkest places imaginable. I've met teens who struggled deeply and are now helping others find their way out. I've seen parents who turned heartbreak into advocacy and connection. Recovery is real, healing is possible, and you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling, visit logansvoice.org/resources for links to trusted organizations, helplines, and community support. There's help. There is hope, because every story matters, every family matters, and Every voice deserves to be heard. If this episode spoke to you, please share it. You never know which parent might need to hear this today. If you got something from our podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss an episode. Every interaction helps put this information in front of other people who need it. I am Logan's voice. I am Logan's dad, and I will not be silent.